A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a groundbreaking development, senior officials from the United States and Russia convened in Saudi Arabia yesterday for extensive negotiations aimed at not only ending the ongoing war in Ukraine but also re-establishing normal diplomatic and financial relations between the two nations. This meeting marks one of the most significant diplomatic efforts between the two global powers in recent years, following a prolonged period of Western efforts to isolate Moscow after its invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The meeting, which has been described as a head-spinning reset of the Russia-US relationship, comes at a time when both countries are grappling with the ramifications of the conflict. President Trump, present at the talks, demonstrated a willingness to shift away from the previous administration's hardline approach that included sanctions and military support for Ukraine. In a departure from recent diplomatic norms, U.S. officials refrained from condemning Russia's actions in Ukraine, focusing instead on Trump's proactive engagement with Russian leadership. Following the meeting, U.S. officials highlighted Trump's unique approach, suggesting that his willingness to communicate directly with Russia could pave the way for a resolution to the conflict, an approach they felt was lacking during President Biden's administration. Marco Rubio, the U.S. Secretary of State, outlined that discussions would continue regarding what a potential end to the war might look like, including the removal of restrictions on embassies in both Moscow and Washington. However, the talks have not been without controversy. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed outrage at being excluded from the discussions, emphasizing that any decisions regarding Ukraine's future must involve Ukraine itself. Zelensky's planned visit to Saudi Arabia was canceled in light of the meeting, as he stated, "Decisions on how to end the war in Ukraine cannot be made without Ukraine, nor can any conditions be imposed." His remarks underscore the complexities and sensitivities surrounding the ongoing conflict and the implications of any agreements made without Ukrainian input. Meanwhile, discussions within Europe are intensifying as leaders convene to formulate a coordinated response to the developments. In Paris, European officials are concerned that Trump's negotiations with Russia could lead to a settlement that undermines Ukraine's territorial integrity and security. Prime Minister Keir Starmer of the UK has even offered British military support to ensure Ukraine's long-term security, highlighting the anxiety among European allies regarding the potential for a US-Russia deal that could leave them sidelined. As the diplomatic landscape shifts, analysts warn that any agreement reached without Ukraine's involvement could have dire consequences for the country, potentially allowing Russia to consolidate its territorial gains and further disrupt NATO unity. With both countries suffering significant losses, Russia with heavy casualties and Ukraine with ongoing devastation, the urgency for a resolution is palpable. The dialogue also opened discussions about economic partnerships, with Russia suggesting that U.S. companies could benefit significantly from re-engaging with the Russian market, particularly in the energy sector. As both nations explore the potential for new business ventures, the implications for global markets and international relations remain uncertain. In summary, the recent talks between U.S. and Russian officials signal a potential shift in the geopolitical landscape concerning the Ukraine conflict. However, the exclusion of Ukraine from these discussions raises critical questions about the future of the country and the validity of any agreements reached. As Europe watches closely, the coming weeks will be crucial in determining the trajectory of U.S.-Russia relations and the ongoing war in Ukraine. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.